It is 11:50 p.m. on the 31st of October. You are standing in a supermarket line that stretches out the door and around the block. Inside the store, it is total chaos. People are frantically throwing anything they can find into their carts. Canned beans, luxury watches, gardening tools, it does not matter. They are not buying these things because they need them. They are buying them because in exactly 10 minutes, every single dollar in their bank account will vanish. Welcome to the era of expiration money. In this economic experiment, the government decided that the only way to save the economy was to force you to spend. Money is no longer a store of value. It is like milk or bread. It has a shelf life. If you do not use it by the end of the month, it rots away to zero. This simple change has completely rewired the human brain and dismantled society as we know it. The concept of savings is dead. Banks have ceased to exist because nobody deposits money anymore. The stock market has collapsed because no one invests for a future that they cannot pay for. We now live in the age of the eternal now. Let us look at how your daily life has changed. In the first week of the month, you feel rich. Your salary hits your account and the clock starts ticking. You live like a king. You eat at the finest restaurants. You buy the most expensive clothes not because you are wealthy, but because holding on to cash is a liability. You have to get rid of it. This is what economists call high velocity of money, but on the streets we just call it the monthly sprint. By the second week, the panic begins to set in. You realize you have spent too much on pleasures and haven't bought enough tradable goods. You see, in this world, physical objects have become the new savings account. Your garage is not for your car, it is a warehouse stacked to the ceiling with non-perishable food, gold bars, and bottles of whiskey. These are the only things that hold value when the digital numbers on your screen reset. And it is not just you who is panicking. Think about the corporations. In this world, companies cannot hoard cash reserves either. Apple, Google, and Tesla must spend every dime of profit before the month ends, or they lose it all. This has created a landscape of hyper-aggressive marketing that borders on harassment. Advertisements are no longer suggestions, they are desperate screams. Prices drop hourly. Buy one, get 10 free offers are standard. Delivery drones darken the sky, dropping packages on porches of people who did not even order them, just because warehouses need to clear inventory to convert expiring cash into physical assets. The consumer is king, but a king who is being force-fed until he bursts. But the real darkness of this system reveals itself in the third week. This is when the crime wave hits. Since everyone knows you must spend your money, criminals do not steal cash anymore. Why would they steal cash that expires in a few days? Instead, they steal your things. Home invasions skyrocket. They come for your whiskey, your gold, your canned food. Security companies are now the richest corporations on earth because protecting your physical assets is the only way to preserve your labor. And then comes the last day of the month, the day of the Great Purge. This is the day humanity loses its dignity. As the clock ticks toward midnight, billions of dollars are dumped into the market in a frenzy. Prices skyrocket by 300% in mere hours. It is a hyperinflationary nightmare that repeats every 30 days. If you are a worker, you pray your boss does not pay you on the last day because that money is practically worthless unless you spend it instantly. Now let us step back and look at the long-term consequences. What happens to a society that cannot save? It stops building. No one builds a house that takes 5 years to finish because you cannot save up for the construction materials. No one starts a business that requires 10 years to become profitable. We have stopped looking at the stars and started looking only at our feet. Innovation has died because innovation requires patience and capital, and we have neither. The elderly are the ones who suffer the most. Retirement is a mathematical impossibility. How do you retire when you cannot accumulate wealth? The answer is cruel. You simply work until you drop. The state provides a meager daily allowance for the old, just enough to survive until tomorrow. We have created a world of perpetual motion where stopping to rest means starving to death. Because the official currency is flawed, humanity has naturally reverted to something older. A shadow economy has risen where the dollar is used only for rapid transactions, but true wealth is stored in commodities. The bartender is the new banker because he holds bottles of vintage whiskey, which does not expire. The mechanic is the new hedge fund manager because he hoards spare parts. People now pay for underground services not with credit transfers, but with boxes of ammunition, gold flakes, and antibiotics. We have accidentally reinvented the barter system of the medieval ages, but with smartphones and high-speed internet. If you want to know who the richest man in town is, do not look for the guy with the fancy bank app. look for the guy with the biggest basement fortress filled with non-perishable goods. Yet the government calls this a utopia. They claim they have solved poverty because wealth hoarding is impossible. No billionaire can sit on a mountain of cash while others starve. Everyone starts the month at zero. They call it the ultimate equality. But is it equality, or is it just a shared treadmill where we all run until our hearts explode? So tonight, as you look at your bank account balance and feel that sense of security, knowing it will still be there tomorrow, ask yourself a question. What if it wasn't? What if the money in your pocket was burning a hole right now? Would you buy that car you always wanted, or would you give it to a stranger just to get it out of your hands? In a world where money dies, time becomes the only currency we have left. And sadly, we are spending it faster than ever. This is the speculative ledger. If you are watching this, your time is valuable, so thank you for spending it with us. Subscribe if you want to see what happens when we sell our sleep in the next video.